Okay, so this is a video on my reaction and my experience being in a sorority and leaving my sorority. So I joined a sorority in Kappa Delta in fall of 2015, freshman year. It was second week of school, started recruitment, and it was super exciting. So much fun. After I got my bid, the entire time my sorority was telling me, you are a student and you have a family before your sorority. We are a part of your life, but we are not the main priority in your life. That was one of my selling points, is the fact that they still wanted me to have my own life and get an education while being in the new member kind of phase. I loved being around my sorority, I loved being around my sisters, and I got a big and a twin at the same time. I'm initiated into the sorority. I was told, you need to come to this kind of events, these events, go to these parties, be a sorority girl. Well, at the time, I was the second oldest in the sorority. My twin is older than me. I joined when I was 22, and I didn't feel like I wanted to go out drinking every other weekend and hook up with guys. That wasn't my thing. So, come winter of my freshman semester, I'm going to focus on school for the next semester. I had failed 2 classes, and so I decided to focus on my grades instead of sorority. And by distancing myself, I think it started a chain reaction of the other girls in the sorority not opening up to me, which wasn't entirely their fault and wasn't entirely mine. It just was something that naturally happened. During the spring and come the summer, I was isolated, and I kept seeing pictures after pictures on my Facebook, on my Instagram, everywhere, of people in the sorority going out and doing things. And it was very upsetting to know that every one of those girls had a way to contact me and none of them would contact me. And it was very upsetting to know that I wasn't wanted and I wasn't welcomed into the sorority house or around the girls. In the fall of 2016, I was now recruiting. I was on the other side of the sorority. The whole recruitment process, which is stressful. Oh my god. No one tells you how stressful it's going to be. For a month, we were going through class and class and class, trying to learn all this music, learn all the songs, learn chants, learn how to ask the questions. Like, there's so much to go through. A week before recruitment, I want to leave. I am so stressed, I'm so upset with disorganization, and I'm so mad that the girls are still treating me like crap. What it does, it's supposed to promote women confidence and promote confidence throughout young women by setting examples in themselves. I decide that's going to be my motto, is I'm going to set an example, as I am now the oldest. Come this next fall, I had gotten 2 littles. I love them so much. A week after they both got initiated, I only have 1 little now. It was hard enough to lose that person in my life because I felt that I did something wrong, and I knew that I did. I just wanted to know how I should have gone about this, and nothing was ever told to me. Every time I have to go into the house, I would immediately run into the bathroom and cry because it was not fun. I never felt welcomed, I never felt loved, and I never felt like they wanted me to be there. It's just that I was there as a number on a spreadsheet. Come the end of the semester, we have a sisterhood we would ask very personal questions, and one side of the room was that you agreed with it, the other side of the room was that you didn't agree with it or it didn't apply, and then the middle was a neutral, and whichever way you went, it was supposed to be your honest opinion and you were not judged for it. They would say a statement and you had to go to which side it applied on. The statement was, I feel comfortable around my sisters. I was the only one that walked to the side that it did not apply to, because everybody else felt comfortable and happy and loved around their sisters. And I walked slowly, but I knew that I had to be honest with myself, and that was one of the things, is that it took a long time to be honest with myself of how I felt. We had that, and then we had a circle where we all faced outside the circle, but the entire time I sat next to my little and another girl and cried. It was a opening experience for me because I knew I wasn't happy and I needed to get out. There's no way I will be happy with people who don't want me here. I tried to go inactive. I applied and was denied. You have a meeting, you talk about why, and they discuss it, and 5 minutes later they tell you yes or no. At the end of the meeting they said your reasons are not good enough. You were denied. And I wrote a letter to my chapter president ranting about how I cannot do this anymore and how I want to be out. I was told I could reapply for inactive and try and get it again. I applied again and had a meeting and wasn't completely granted. As they told me, technically they could only grant out 2 for our chapter, and they had already been filled out. When I went back and thought and went through of who is in the chapter and who I knew was on inactive, there was more than one girl, more than 2 girls that I knew. I've had people, more than one person, watch me or send a message asking, does someone want to hang out, or can someone, help me with something? Within those 5-10 minutes, another person asked the same question or something very, very, very similar, and it didn't seem right that my questions weren't being answered, wasn't being acknowledged at all. During fall of 2016, I had blown out a tire, and it's 7 o'clock at night. I asked the sisters, can anybody come help me? I wait for 30 minutes, and then I ask again, and I get one response back saying, I don't know how to change a tire. Well, it's 7 o'clock at night and people are zooming by me on a highway, and I'm scared to get out of the car. I mean, I know how to change a tire and I would have done it, but I was scared to get out of the car. I called everybody I could. Finally, with an hour later, somebody come help me. But it wasn't my sisters. It was someone that I wasn't really even close to. And at the end of the winter break, and I was looking through my Facebook and noticed that a sister bragged about 2 other sisters driving 2 hours out to get her to take her back to campus. I was 20 minutes away from them. Why was the fact that I was 20 minutes away and terrified any less of a reason to just go get a sister just to get her? It felt so wrong that I could not be in more need of help, but I was ignored. It broke my heart, and it still breaks my heart to the day, because I wanted help so bad and I could not depend or trust my sisters. It was not fair that I was being a sincere and kind person all the time, happy, wanting to help everybody, and it wasn't fair that nobody wanted me, nobody welcomed me into the house, and nobody liked me. 2 weeks after spring break, we have a mandatory at 2 o'clock to take pictures for Greek week. Now, this was mandatory to go to. I texted council and I said, hey, I won't be there because I have class. And I was told, make it work. I was told to leave class to go have a picture taken. Sorority trumped everything once you became an active member. That was the day I left the sorority. I went up to the house, I went to the president, and I signed all the paperwork. For a week, I didn't tell anybody. The president knew, my little knew. Only people who knew. Once people knew, they would treat me differently. Even though if you, for some reason, decide to disaffiliate with us, we're not going to treat you any differently. The following week, I share an article and comment around it saying, this is a great example on why I love my sorority but hate my chapter. A few girls commented supporting me, and I shut my phone off till 6 at night. At 6 o'clock, my mother calls me, and I'm with my little, and she says, you need to check your Facebook because people are attacking you on Facebook. Girls were commenting on my social media on how I shouldn't have done it, I shouldn't have left, and I was disgracing my previous sorority. Plus, they were shaming me for what I did, that it was my fault, that I didn't do the right things, I didn't put enough into it. It wouldn't have bothered me if these girls were just random girls. It bothered me so much more that these were supposedly my sisters, and they were supposed to, believe in me and support me in my decisions. They were supposed to be there by my side, and they didn't. I had a few girls that whole day who had left the sorority told me, you're not alone in this, and you should be proud of what you did because it's a very brave thing to do. Later that night, I got text messages from people. They were trying to apologize. And I made one comment, said this is another reason, an example why I did not tell anybody or was scared to do this, because I knew I would be treated differently and be shamed for it. I always believe in crime and punishment. If you do something wrong, you should have a punishment for it. I didn't expect that one post would turn the chapter into chaos. There is a lot of people who are very upset with how it was handled and what was said, who said it. Apparently a lot of people are upset, other than me. Now, throughout this entire thing, no one has asked me why. No one asked me why I did it. No one asked me why I had such a bad experience. That was what bothered me more, was the fact that I was getting all this hate and all this shame from something that I saw another sorority person share. I wanted to share it because I saw her do it. I knew that if she could do it, I could do it. Why do I want to leave, and why are my experiences so bad that I am forced to leave? The reason I had left is because I was ignored, unwelcome, and unwanted. Sororities were meant for a sisterhood of women. They weren't meant for rumors and gossip and drama. And that's what sororities today are. My reasoning behind this whole video is I left my sorority, and I love my sorority. I hate my chapter. But I left because I was unwanted, unwelcome, and unloved, and ignored. No one should feel that way, especially by women who are supposed to build your confidence and love you no matter what. And I will see y'all later.